Evening. The time is now 5 p.m. I call this meeting of the Granbury Independent School District to order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting has been duly called, and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. The board will now adjourn into executive session pursuant to the following sections. Students, to deliberate a matter regarding a public school student where personally identifiable information about the student may be revealed, Texas Government Code 551.082. Personnel, to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee, Texas Government Code 551.074. Staff recommendations. Security devices or security audits, if needed, to deliberate the deployment, the development, or specific occasions for the implementation of security personnel devices or a security audit, Texas Government Code 551.076. Real property, to deliberate the purchase, exchange, lease of real property if deliberation in an open meeting would have a detrimental effect on the board's position in negotiations with a third person, Texas Government Code 551.072. To discuss the Decker Gym Complex located at 301 North Hannaford and 600 West Bridge Street, Granbury, Texas 76048. And consultation with the attorney if needed. To consult with attorney when the board seeks advice about pending or contemplated litigation or settlement offer, or when the attorney will have an ethical duty of confidentiality, Texas Government Code 551.071. The time is now 5:02 p.m. Now 6:01 PM, the board is reconvening following the executive session. We will have a recess until 6:06 PM, where we will reconvene into open sessions. Oh, well. Okay. The time is now 6:06 p.m. We will reconvene in open session by beginning with an invocation led by Mr. Stuart Neal.
Please bow your head with me. Heavenly Father, thank you for the opportunity to gather in service to our students, our staff, and our community. Grant this board wisdom in its decisions, humility in its leadership, and compassion in its discussions. Help us to listen with open minds, speak with kindness, and remain focused on what is best for the children entrusted to our care. Bless our teachers, our administrators, our employees, students, and families. May our work tonight contribute to a stronger future for all and to provide every child with the opportunity to learn, grow, and thrive. We ask all this in the name of your Son, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. And we will now have the pledges to the U.S. and Texas flag. Please stand.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one indivisible.
Thank you. Now we will go into our achievement spotlight. First up, we have our Lemonade Day winners, presented by Holly Martin, Chamber of Commerce CEO.
All right, good evening, President Gore, trustees, Dr. Morosky, and members of the Granbury ISD leadership team. My name is Holly Martin, and I'm honored to serve as the president and CEO of the Granbury Chamber of Commerce. On behalf of the Granbury Chamber of Commerce and Lemonade Day Granbury, thank you for allowing me to be here tonight, and most importantly, thank you for your partnership over the last 4 years. What began as a vision to teach entrepreneurship, financial literacy, goal setting, and leadership has grown into an incredible community-wide program because of the support of Granbury ISD, our teachers, our families, businesses, and our community partners. This year, we celebrated our 4th annual Lemonade Day, and our students once again exceeded our expectations. In 2026, we had 126 registered lemonade stands, up from 94 from last year. That's a 34% growth. And together, these young entrepreneurs generated an estimated amount of $48,384 in gross sales and an estimated amount of $37,422 in net profit. That's just in a 4-hour period, so that's amazing. So beyond the dollars earned, students gained valuable real-world experience in budgeting, marketing, customer service, teamwork, and leadership. Another really exciting highlight of this year's Lemonade Day was our Shark Tank competition. So this year we had 48 teams present their business plans to investors, nearly doubling last year's 25 presentations. So that's awesome too. So the confidence, creativity, and professionalism displayed by these students was truly remarkable. Tonight, we are very proud to recognize our 2026 overall Top Entrepreneur of the Year and Achievement Spotlight recipient, Black Hole Lemonade from Bronner Elementary. So, through innovation, determination, and outstanding business practices, this team achieved an impressive net profit of $1,492. So please join me in recognizing Hank Scott, Jace Brooks, and Bentley Bedwell, the young entrepreneurs behind Black Hole Lemonade, for their outstanding accomplishment. We would also like to extend our sincere appreciation to everyone who helped make Lemonade Day possible, especially our main squeeze sponsor, Constellation, as well as all of our other sponsors, our business partners who hosted stands, our teachers who brought their entrepreneurship lessons into their classrooms, our parents who supported their students, and our investors, our judges, and our volunteers, and the entire community who showed up for these young entrepreneurs. That was a lot of lemonade to be tasting on that day for sure. The success of Lemonade Day is a direct reflection of what can happen when schools, businesses, families, and community leaders come together to invest in our youth. So we are deeply and incredibly proud of every student who participated this year and very grateful for our continued partnership with Granbury ISD. Thank you for helping us inspire the next generation of business owners, innovators, and community leaders. We cannot wait, and we look forward to next year celebrating 5 years of Lemonade Day. So let's take a break.
And if we have any family, parents, friends, teachers in the audience, would you also please stand and be recognized? Okay, next we have our state FFA teams presented by Erin Wilson.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for having us. We're so excited for all the support that you give us throughout the year. My name is Gina Rogers. Erin couldn't be here with us this evening, but I'm excited to be here. And with me, I also have Rachel Alfonso, Renee Toledo, and Emily Bracken. Tonight, we're going to recognize our accomplishments of our FFA members who advanced to state through career development events. Our CDEs help build real-world experience while developing leadership, communication, critical thinking, and teamwork. This year, they competed with over 21,000 FFA members from across the state in teams of 4 through different events, and then these are the ones that advanced to state. When I call, or I'm going to have all of them come up, and then I'll tell you what they did. So all of our CDE members, if you will come on up to the front, please. As they come up, I'll tell you we have our range team. They placed 8th at state out of 90 teams. Our land judging team placed 15th in state out of 170 teams. Horse evaluation team was in the top 13% of the state. Entomology team was in the top 15% of the state. Dairy cattle was in the top 17% of the state. And our wool judging team was in the top 22nd. And as I call your name, if you will just raise your hands. Our range team with us tonight is Wyatt Grider and Byron Stewart. Land judging is Hunter Campbell, Adeline Kemp. Also was Molly Ferguson and Kaiser Hebron that were not here. Horse judging team was Lennon Freeman, Ariana Tribble, Emma Farrell, and Jaden Hemphill is not available tonight. Entomology was Cash Rogers, Avery Taylor, Logan Adams, and Callan Rogers. Our dairy cattle team is not able to be here with us tonight. That's Audrey Dunstan, Davin Rinke, Bailey Roy, and Emily Sane. And our wool team tonight, we have Skylar Smith and Lena Tiblish, and Kimberly Green and Trace Coker were not available to be here. In addition to our CDE state competitors, we also have some State Star Award finalists. If you're a State Star finalist, come on up. They are achieving the highest academic or highest agriculture entrepreneurship and placement based on their SAEs. We have 2 Lone Star degree recipients, Cash Rogers and Emma Farrell. They're the top 3% of the state of Texas of FFA members. Then we have our Star Award recipients, which is going to be Aaron Hubinger and Cash Rogers. They both are in the top 4 finalists in the entire state of Texas for, Aaron has a star chapter in agri-science, and Cash has a state star in agribusiness. And we just thank you guys for all the continued support that you give these kids throughout the year and us. We couldn't do this without y'all's support and cheering us on, our community as well. So we thank you very much.
We're gonna try and get them all in. If you're tall, if you back.
Somebody come over here.
We got a minute, all right? You want to get in there with them? Y'all can just line up. You want to get it? You sure?
Oh, you're fine. Let them do
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Got it.
And for Heavenly Family friends, teachers, and the audience, would you please stand and be recognized as well? Okay, next we have our CKH, or Capturing Kids' Hearts National Showcase Schools Recognition, presented by Carla Wilmoth and Nikki Shipley.
Good evening, board. We are so excited to have our Capturing Kids' Hearts campuses here that receive the National Showcase. And we have process champions from each campus that are here to accept those awards. But first, we want to introduce Nikki Shipley. She's our Capturing Kids' Hearts CKH strategist for our district, and she's going to say a few words.
Hi, good evening, everyone. It's an honor to be here and celebrate Granbury ISD and the incredible work that has taken place across this district. For those of you that don't know, Showcase is one of the highest recognitions we give to a district and to a campus, and that's based on implementation of our process with fidelity and showing measurable results in culture, climate, and student outcomes. So first, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for your partnership, your trust, and your commitment to creating schools where students and adults can thrive. The success we celebrate today is not the result of a program, but a process and the result of you as leaders, teachers, and staff members who have consistently chosen relationships, connection, and culture. Just a few years ago, Granbury was in the early stages of implementation with CKH, and today, 9 out of 10 campuses are National Showcase schools, with the 10th campus nominated, and all 10 campuses earned an Excel rating this year. And that level of district-wide success is definitely worth celebrating, so come on. Hey, and your data says it in the numbers, but really what the data shows us is that students are feeling welcomed, students are feeling seen, students are feeling valued, and students are feeling like they belong here. We know that when students feel welcome, seen, and valued and like they belong, they're more willing to take risks, engage in learning, ask questions, and persevere through challenges and grow. And we know that students learn best when they feel safe enough to be safe enough to be themselves and confident enough to try. And the students are experiencing that. And again, 7 of 9 campuses with their survey data are noticing that not just the students are feeling the impact, but your families here in Granbury are feeling that impact as well. And one of the things I admire most about Granbury is the heart and the consistency. Over 3 years, your principals have shown up and attended more than 200 monthly cohort huddles where they get coaching, and there's a 96% attendance rate. Your staff and teachers to support these kids have accessed over 70,000 resources to strengthen support. And that kind of commitment doesn't just happen by accident. That reflects a district dedicated to continuous growth. And perhaps the most impressive really is the culture you guys have created across the district. The leader culture surveys, the climate surveys among staff, those aren't just numbers. That represents adults who care deeply about one another and about the students they serve. I also want you guys to know that people across the state of Texas and outside of Texas are paying attention to what's happening here in Granbury. I have the honor to serve many other districts, but your commitment to culture, leadership, and student connection is becoming a model to several of the districts that I serve. In fact, several of them are already looking forward to learning from Granbury's leaders and teachers and principals this fall and learning how you've built such strong and sustainable results. So as we celebrate today, I hope you take a moment to recognize what you've all accomplished, not just the awards, the ratings, or the survey scores, but the lives that you're impacting along the way, right? That's what matters. So thank you guys for your leadership, for your commitment, your partnership, and your commitment to kids. And thank you for allowing us to be a small part of this journey. Congratulations on an incredible year, and we're proud to celebrate with you today, and we look forward to the continued impact and growth in the future. Thank you guys so much.
So we're gonna call each campus up with their process champions. So first we have Acton Elementary with Karen Garcia and Tiffany Ferrer. Next we have Bacchus Elementary with Chelsea Doss and Carmen Chandler. Then we have Bronner Elementary, and Miss Mary Stinnett is here tonight from their campus. Emma Robertson Early Learning Academy, and Kelly Lambert, I believe, is here, yes. She came back. Then we have Oakwoods, and Miss Holly Moore is here. Mambrino with Nicole Moody, Katie Unra, and Stacy Nava. Acton Middle School with Miss Angie Payne. Got lots of people up here. Then Granbury Middle School, Ann Barr is here to represent them. And last but not least, for the second year as a National Showcase School, Stars BTC with Miss Margaret Flores. Thank you all for coming tonight and representing your schools well.
Okay, next up, we have our superintendent advisory teams presented by Dr. Courtney Morosky.
So thank you, those of you that are left in here. I wanted a chance to get to celebrate you all that have participated in this program. And it's hard to put into words how special our meetings have been. I think we've grown as advisory team members together and learning about it. And one of my favorite things that's happened is really the call for more action. And so some of the things that we've discussed this advisory team doing is moving from really an advising role into some more action oriented roles. So they have been instrumental in listening to new things that we're thinking about implementing and giving me the lens of either a parent or a staff member or a community member and saying, hey, have you thought about this? Or I'm not sure I understand that, or why are we doing that? And it's been really wonderful to have
that partnership along the way. So we decided we're going to keep the same group members if they want to keep on another year and give us another year of growth together, and we're so super excited. So I have some challenge coins from the district that I'd like to call you up and give you because you are part of our team, and the coin says we are Team GISD. We're better together, better every day, and so I want to make sure that you know you're part of our team, no matter your role. But let's do this in groups, I think, because I think there's a lot of you out here. So we'll start with our staff members who did this, and some of you are dual role, but just come with the group that you participate with. All right, so staff members, come on.
If you participate in our parent advisory, come on up, parent advisory. Yay, good. Okay, all right. Showing up. Okay, here we go.
All right, ready?
Perfect. Okay. Thank you. Here. Shaking hands. Come on. So that you're here. Let me go. You're here. I know. All right. So,
Dr. Ralph Munoz. Dr. Munoz. Hi, Rick. We need to go. We're going to tell him.
okay. All right. Come on. Here we go. All right.
All right, y'all ready? Let's just wait. Ready? 1, 2, 3, hold it.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that you guys know that they signed up for this voluntary, just so you know, and I'm grateful. They came to many meetings, and there'll be many more, and so once again, I'm just grateful for their service. Thank you so much. Perfect. Okay.
Okay, next up, we have our community donations presented by, oh, you got an easy one today. Presented by Mr. Tim Bolton.
Thank you. Okay, I'll get started. Bronner PTO to the Bronner Campus Activity Fund for the 5th grade field day t-shirts in the amount of $600. GMS PTO to the GMS Campus Activity Fund for end of year celebration expenses, $354.81. Romney Carey to the AMS Cheer Student Activity Fund for the support of that program, $100. First National Bank, Michelle Lucero to the AMS Cheer Student Activity Fund for cheer uniforms, $500. Salvation Army Women's Auxiliary to the GHS Culinary Campus Activity Fund for the assistance with the SAWA event is $500. Elizabeth Crockett, Chapter DAR to the GHS MCJROTC, Student Activity Fund for the support of that program for $100. True North Home Loans, Billy Mays and Emily Britt to the Granbury Volleyball Campus Activity account for camp t-shirts. That is $500. The total amount for donations from the community this month, $2,654.81. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
No, not thanks. Me.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bolton, and thank you to all of our generous community members and their time and donations. It truly helps make Granbury what it is. Now we will go into public comments. I don't believe any parents signed up to speak, just community members tonight. First person is Monica Brown. I don't think I see anyone in the audience, but I'm going to call them just in case they're here and we need to get their attention. So first speaker is Monica Brown. Okay, next person is Mr. Jim Brown. And next person is David Rogers. And that's it. Okay. So no public comments. We will go right into our action to consider action on items discussed in closed session. We've got staff recommendations. Do I have a motion?
Madam President, I move that we approve the staff recommendations as presented to us in closed session.
Okay, I have a motion by Ms. Alana. Do I have a second?
Second.
And a second by Mr. Bolton. Do we have any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, raise your hand. Let the record show that is 7 in favor, 0 against. The motion passes. And now we're going into the superintendent's report. Dr. Courtney Morosky.
Yes, thank you, President Gore. I want to make sure that people know we do have a process to update our public comments online. And so we are going to show you on the internet, and it's the magic of Ryan Cox maneuvering this over here. So if you go to our homepage and go to School Board and Meetings, over to the right-hand side, once we get public comments and we will have a chance to respond to those, they will be right here. It'll be a great feature for our community to hear the public's concerns and then for us to be able to respond. So we're very excited to launch that, and so we are waiting for our first public comment over the last few months. So we were ready today to be able to launch that, but we are ready and happy to do that so our community is informed and transparent once again, just making sure that you have the information from the response. Okay, another exciting piece of information that I want to make sure I get the details right is that we have in the history of AVID, so if you remember AVID's a program that's come to present to this board in the past in our secondary schools. So in the history of AVID at GISD, we've only had one recipient of the prestigious Dell Scholars Award, and that was Victoria Rodriguez in 2023. This year's senior AVID class had 4 earn the Dell Scholars Award. Estrella Villegas Diaz, I hope I said that right, Allison Galindo, Hannah Marshall, and Kimberly Martinez are 4 of the 500 recipients nationwide. 4 of the 500, yes. So just to keep everybody updated, that award comprises $80,000 in combined scholarships for those awardees, as well as 4 brand new Dell laptops in service as they go off to college. So this scholarship is only offered to students participating in a college readiness program such as AVID, and our teachers would like to extend their gratitude to support those opportunities. So congrats to the teachers as well that participated in helping these students: Jason Shahan, Kinsey McClure Gamboa, and Ava Ball, and Misty Burrell Ingmeyer. So I hope I got those right. Please have patience with me if I did not, and you can correct me for sure. But we are so proud of the work the students did and the teachers. So thank you to those teachers and students for that. Also, community and parents, you should be getting parents, you should be getting an email on Wednesday that will explain the process about how you can access your children's STAR scores. So those have been released. They're preliminary from the state. The state does have cleanup to do, but they know the importance of, as a parent, having that information. So we are sending the email out on Wednesday. It will have directions about how to access that portal. It is not our portal. It's the state's portal, the company's portal that Cambium that runs that system, that will make sure that you have that information so that you will know some scores, and then you can contact your school, or it'll explain in the letter who to contact with questions. Another just exciting thing that I want to make sure, we talked about our job fair a couple of months ago, and I'm often asked how many people are hired from it. So thank you to Lisa Oliver, wherever she is in this room, there she is, for collecting the number for us. And I know that the HR team did a fabulous job of planning it. But we've hired 31 people from the job fair. So that is a worthwhile endeavor. So it is very important that we continue that tradition and only get better at it, because those are quality employees that have been vetted by our process. So we're excited about that. Also, this summer is a time of change, and so there is new faces coming on board soon, because many people are out of the district on conferences. We're going to announce those all in July, so we'll get a chance to make sure that you see their faces and welcome them to the team. So I want to make sure that you know that. The very most important thing that parents need to hear if you have a rising senior is that we have made a change in graduation date. So we want to make sure that you know we have changed the graduation date to Saturday, May 22nd. That is a little off the tradition from the past. In the past, it has been associated with the Memorial Day weekend. But for the first time in a long time, we're graduating a whole week before the Memorial Day weekend. So we don't want kids sitting around for a week without, and parents wondering, are their kids graduating, and grades being stretched out and those kinds of things. So we're going to graduate them just like normal the day after student classes end. It'll just be on a Saturday this time. So I just want to make sure our community knows that. We've let the principals know that. STARS has also been adjusted. So Margaret was here. She's gone now. But we'll make sure and communicate this out. It'll just be a little different process, but we won't have that week in between those 7 full days with students not doing anything, just waiting around to graduate, which is a little awkward for families in the school district. So thank you for that. I just wanted to make sure we're aware of that. And that is the end of my announcements. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Morosky. Okay, moving on to district reports. First, we have our Granbury ISD Summer School Information Report for 2026, presented by Carla Wilmuth and Summer School Administrators.
Okay. Thank you for having us. We want to take a moment to share a brief information update on summer school that began this last week. Sorry, I got the flipper. I need to go. In GISD, we offer 4 components of summer school. The first is our bilingual ESL summer school. It's required by state law for students entering kindergarten and first grade, but parents have the option if they want their children to participate. We then have also targeted STAR and EOC support for students in grades 3 through 8 or high school students who did not pass their state assessment. The third type is accelerated high school courses, and those are for students who want to get ahead on their credits. And then we have extended school year, and that's for eligible special education students to prevent significant regression. Tonight, we have summer school administrators, instructional specialists, or counselors from each program here to provide a brief information overview and answer any questions you may have. At this time, I'll turn it over to there she is, Brittany Akins, our instructional specialist for elementary summer school, who's here for Nuvia, and Nuvia Velasquez is at TEPSA.
Good evening, school board. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our elementary summer school program that we're having right now at Bronner Elementary. We have 2 categories of students there. We have our limited English proficiency students who are being served. They are either bilingual or ESL. We currently have 54 bilingual or ESL students and 12 newcomers from grades 3 through 5. We also have our general education for our 3rd through 5th graders who did not pass the STAR test this year in either reading or math. Summer school is running from June 2nd and ends on June 25th. And for math, we are utilizing the Bluebonnet ADSY, which is the additional day school year curriculum. And for reading language arts, we are focusing on iReady lessons. Our newcomers are also using IXL and Benchmark to supplement their learning.
Hello. My name is Angie Payne. I'm one of the assistant principals at Acton Middle School, and I'm serving as associate principal for middle school summer school this year. And I have Frenchie Garcia with me today. She's our IS. We currently have 146 students enrolled, 6th through 8th grade. They just keep coming. In fact, today we had 3 more that joined us. And so they're excited to be there. Our teachers are excited to be there, and they're making good progress already, I hope. So we're excited to see all the growth that they're doing. And I'm sure we'll come back and report that at the end of summer too. We have 18 teachers and 4 paraprofessionals. We're running some small groups, like 10 to 12 kids in each class, which is really good for that targeted instruction. The majority of our students are there because they did not meet that passing requirement on STARS, so we're anxious to get them caught up and ready for next school year. We also implemented some, and you could probably speak better to this than me, but we are implementing some newcomer bilingual strategies for our EB students that are newcomers to us. We're really focusing during their reading block on English language proficiency, and so we're hoping that we show some major progress there using our Summit K-12 Knowledge Links program. The rest of our kiddos are using iReady. Unfortunately, Bluebonnet does not have the ASDY for middle school, but we are using iReady reading and math and many components that are embedded there. IXL, our reading teachers are excited. They're doing lots of fun novel studies, and we plan to use iReady standards mastery assessments to monitor their progress. So we're excited to come report that to you at the end, see how much we make. Thank you all for having us.
We have 2 things going on. So the first slide's about the EOC Blitz. And so we have 5 EOCs at the high school: English 1, English 2, Algebra 1, Biology, and U.S. History. So these are students that did not pass or miss the test for whatever reason. They've all been called and sent letters about attending our Blitz, which is coming up in a week. And then we'll do testing, and then they'll have data for you on how they do. Hopefully it's better, and they pass and they don't have to do it again in December. We have 7 teachers working with that, and then the resources are listed there. As a counselor, I'm not super familiar with all those resources, but I'm very confident that our teachers will get them where they need to be. The next slide covers acceleration and credit recovery. So we offer 2 components to summer school. So acceleration really is for the kid who maybe they really want to try more than one CTE pathway, or possibly when they're at the junior year, some of the CTE pathways are 2 periods, and so they might need to take something in the summer so they can guarantee that they have spots for that CTE and their athletics and their fine arts and all the things that they want to do. These kids are highly motivated. They can take up to 2 full courses on the acceleration, and so they started May 4th. We had a sign up in person at the end of April. They signed up. It is for pay. They have to pay for the courses. And those are coming from the subject.com. And this is the same program that we're using for Bridge Ed, which is that hybrid program. And so this really is a good test for our staff and our students to see how user-friendly is this subject AI, I think is what it's called too. So we're getting a lot of good feedback from that as well. And then we have our credit recovery, which is a little bit of the opposite type of kiddo. But credit recovery, they were unsuccessful with something during the school year. So we as counselors make sure we contact every kid and their parents to let them know that they were unsuccessful in a course, and then we sign them up for summer school. And then we do offer transportation for summer school, so that helps a lot of kids get there, which is really important because a lot of them wouldn't be able to come if we didn't have transportation. So we have approximately between 150 and 200 kids, 7 teachers. They are working mainly on Edgenuity to get that done. So if you have questions later, you can let me know.
ESY is a little different than summer school. We run 2 weeks in June and 2 weeks in July. The purpose for that is to limit the amount of times that kids are away. This is for our most critically need students, so we only have 10 students that qualify. Our resources could look very different, from washing our hands in the sink to using the toilet to using a standing frame if we're doing physical therapy. It's whatever their goal is that they regressed on, that we have data to support that we need to shorten that time that they're away from school in the summer. So we have 3 teachers and 3 paras, and then 1 ESY administrator, and then our physical therapist is helping us complete those goals.
I will tell you that probably, I'm not exactly sure if we're going to do it in July or August, but we're going to come back with their progress and how they grew over during summer school. So we'll do that in a couple of months to let you know how successful this was. And we're hoping for great results.
I think I have 3 quick questions.
Okay.
Angie said that students are still coming. Is there a cutoff date? Do you have a date where they can't continue to come for the programs that are being offered?
You know what? If they're willing to come, we're going to take them.
You're going to take them whenever. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's good to know. Mandatory. What programs are mandatory and what programs are not mandatory? And then the last one is what building, because it doesn't say on the slides, what buildings are you using? Are you using the same home campus, or are you using one building in particular?
So all of the summer school offerings that we have, the parents have the choice of if they want their students to come. So it is parent choice. We've got great people, like they said, that they've called and they've invited, and they let the parents know the importance of coming to summer school and what benefits that they can receive from summer school. But ultimately, it's the parents' choice. So we will take them. So if anyone's out there listening right now and you didn't know, you can come on tomorrow. And then the locations, we have elementary at Bronner Elementary. Extended day is at Bronner Elementary. No, ESY, I'm sorry, not extended day. ESY is at Bronner Elementary. Middle school and high school are both at the high school.
Great. Thank you.
Anything else for any of these ladies?
Well, thank y'all so much, and we appreciate all the hard work that you're, I know, pouring into this program and everything you're going to do for these kids, and I hope y'all get more.
Well, they're doing an amazing job, and we thank them so much.
Okay, next up, we have the property and casualty insurance procurement process presented by Hussein Chapoui.
Thank you, President Skor, trustees, Dr. Morawski. Thank you for having me. This is very informational. So the purpose of this briefing is to share with you the process and everything we do behind the scenes to get you all the data that you will see next month. No bid details, vendor names, or pricing will be discussed today. This is required by Texas law to go out for bids under 44031, which requires competitive procurement process. This is also to inform the board on the method that we selected, which is best value for school districts. And it's also preserved competitiveness, fairness for the entire process for the district, both procurement-wise and legal side. Why now? Because September 1 is that's when our coverage lapse and what drives the procurements. So the carrier we have currently, which is Texas Political Subdivision, they confirmed that no extension will be available past September 1, 2026. The contract value exceeds $50,000. Therefore, we are required to competitively bid it, both by 44031 and board policy CH local. And also the district policy will dictate how we're going to be doing the rebid and the renewal for annually to continue the coverage for our property and casualty insurance. So we have 9 coverages in scope right now. Those are exactly the same coverages that we had in the previous 5 years. So we are not adding anything new. And then the procurement method we selected is competitive sealed proposal. So under 44031A2, it provides combination of best value and which is price and quality. So it's something that we will go through the process to review. So the vendors have to submit sealed responses through the IronWave electronic bidding system. We have published by deadline, which is June 20th. We had to advertise on Hood County News for 2 consecutive weeks. So they're all visible on, as required by Texas statutes on the newspaper. And then it will allow the evaluation on price plus quality. This will fit perfectly. So it's not always the lowest price. The evaluation framework we have in place, it's ranged from the highest part, which is the price at 25 points, to the lowest, which is the impact on hub compliance, which is 0 points. We're not required to give any points to that because we are rural Texas, for a total of 100 points. The timeline we have, so we started this process in April. We advertised. The bidding period goes all the way till June 20th. So that's when we're going to have the bid opening. And then the evaluation committee will meet and review all those proposals. Then on July 20th, which is the next board meeting, I will bring you the recommendation of our team. And then you will have time to review it. And then on August 17, which is the following board meeting, that's when action will be required to take place on the recommended award. Then effectively September 1, coverage will continue. So that way we don't have any lapse in coverage. There are few safeguards in the process for procuring property and casualty insurance. So we have evaluation committee, which is a cross-functional team. All of them and every member has showed that there is no conflict of interest between them. They have to disclose that as required by our human resources. And vendor non-contact period. So while the RFP is open during the public, the vendors are may not contact the board or administration outside the electronic bidding system. So all the vendors, anytime they have a question about certain thing, they have to, if it's technical, they can pick up the phone, call me, or call purchasing assistant, Brady Drake, and she will help them solve that technical issue. If it's bidding related, if it's a form we have to fill out, then they have to manually enter that questions in writing, which we share with all the other vendors so they can see it. Then we issue the response as an addendum for everyone. And then once we finish with all of that, we will share the recommendation when I share it with you with our legal, so they will review it with compliance. So we make sure that's everything that we are doing is above board. So next timeline, July 20th, the bid results will be presented to the trustees. You will receive an evaluation committee scoring, ranked respondents, and the recommended vendor. And then on August 17, the trustees will vote on an award. The board will approve it, and it will become effective September 1, 2026. So I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for that timeline.
Thank you.
Thank you for the information. It's very helpful. Appreciate you, Hussein.
And I just want to make sure that he is responding to the feedback from last year. And so I'm appreciative too of the time and effort that you put into creating the slideshow and for listening to the board feedback and getting better at that process. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Okay, next up, we have a June budget process update presented by Mr. Emmett Whitefield.
Thank you, Madam President. Board, in front of you do have the June budgeting process update. This is kind of what we've gone through in May. Human Resources continues to work on and fine-tuning the employee management and salary negotiations portion. This does account for 80 to 85% of the budget. The deadline for internal transfers has come and gone, and now we will be focused on filling the vacancies that are still left out there. We're still estimating revenues on a 0 student growth for next year. And the current calculations that were being used are to incorporate a small cost of living raise across the board. It's in the beginning phases, so we don't know exactly where that's going to land yet, but we're going to try to bring to you the most competitive product that we can. The executive cabinet's going to discuss and go through those, and then the superintendent will make the final decision of what we bring to you. But we do, with that zero student growth and revenues, we do expect our recapture commitment to be approximately $3.9 million next year, between that $3.9, $4 million piece for recapture. And I can answer any questions that you might have.
Emmett, can you remind me what time of year we pay for recapture?
We pay recapture on August the 15th, and we pay it on the recapture ledger payment that they have posted somewhere around spring break, and I don't remember the exact date on that, but it's,
Okay.
and then there's a settle up later on afterwards.
Okay, thank you.
While we're on the subject of dates, when did they accidentally give us millions of dollars again?
That was given to us last March. Yes.
All right, thank you, Mr. Whitefield. Next up, we have our financial statements for period ending May 31st, 2026, presented by Mr. Emmett Whitefield.
Thank you, Madam President. Board, in front of you, you do have the financial statements for month ending May 31st, 2026. Those do include transactions between September 1st, 2025 and May 31st, 2026. Revenue to date collected equals 98.62% compared to last year's 93.57%. And expenditures to date represent 70.46% of the budget as compared to last year's 71.26% of the budget. Nothing really stands out in there. There are a few things in the revenue section that you see that are a little bit out of whack there. Under other local income, there was a check that we received from Limebarger that went through HCAD that they got some delinquent taxes and some property sales that we collected from them. We didn't adjust those because the overall total revenues fall within the range of where they were last year, just a little bit higher. And then state revenue is going to be adjusted down just a bit once things get settled up, because a lot of that has to do with some of the revenues that they've overpaid us a little bit in state revenues at this point. In the expenditure columns, everything looks pretty much in line, but I can answer any questions you might have with that as well.
Thank you, Mr. Whitefield. And next is our cash flow and investment report for period ending May 31st, 2026.
Thank you, Madam President. Board, in front of you, do have the cash flow and investment report for May. You can see that in May, we did earn $354,245.94 in investment revenue for a combined total this year of $2,621,987.89. At this time last year, May was $340,651 and for a grand total of $2,032,429. So we're still doing well, and the money that you brought up, yes, sir, is still working for us, bringing in that revenue.
Great. Thank you so much. Okay, next we have our consent agenda items. Do I have a motion for the consent agenda items as presented?
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
I have a motion by Mr. Stuart Neal. Do I have a second?
A second.
I have a second by Ms. Alana. Do I have any discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, raise your hand. Let the record show that is 7 in favor, 0 against. The motion passes. Next up, we have take action on the 2026-2027 salary tables and stipend adjustments. Mr. Oka.
Good evening, Board. Tonight, we bring to you our salary tables. We have 3 pay families in our salary structure: administrative professional, clerical paraprofessional, and auxiliary. Notice we didn't include the teacher salary schedule in this group, as we will bring it to you next month. We are recommending that we increase our structure by 1% in an effort to keep up with inflation in our market. Within those salary tables, We have made some adjustments with regard to where positions fall. We have some upgrades and some title changes. And in your materials, see, they are highlighted in yellow with a notation to the side. So if you have any questions about that, we certainly are here tonight. We can discuss those if needed. Also accompanying the information, we have some recommendations for adjustments to stipends, just a few. Essentially fine arts stipend, a little bit of an increase. I think one of our athletic stipends as well, but very few increases in stipends. We did a market analysis. Actually, Wes Jones did that in the fall, carried that over to me when I arrived, and we're in competitive shape on all of our stipends at this time, enough to just make those minor adjustments. I can answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Wilkie, and I'm sorry, as soon as I read your name and I said it, I knew I was saying it wrong, so I apologize.
No problem.
I do want to make a note that we did identify that some of our high needs positions to fill in the district fall under special ed, and so you'll find that there's a new line item in there. We do value those positions, and so they will be a higher pay scale for some of the people that are providing medical care or our hardest positions for students that may need extra support. And so that's an addition. I think that I heard that from my visits on campuses. I do listen to that, and so that was a request that came up through our process and made it on the table for you. So I want you to know that came from the ground up, from comments from people that are doing the actual job. So just wanted to bring that up to you guys.
Okay, thank you. And do I have a motion to approve the 2026, 2027 salary tables and stipend adjustments?
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Moore.
I will second that motion.
And a second by Dr. Lawrence. Do we have any discussion? Okay, all in favor, raise your hand. Let the record show that it's 7 in favor, 0 against. The motion passes. Next is to take action on proposed updates to DC local and DEC local board policies. Mr. Roki, or I'm sorry, Dr. Roki. I'll get it right.
I'm back. No. Yes, so we have two policies that we brought to you for a first reading earlier in May. DEC local, essentially it is requesting that we change the number of discretionary days, DEC, from 3 to 5 days for employees to be able to take off those 5 consecutive days without special approval. Also in our hiring practices, DC, we were recommending that our hiring practices be delegated to the superintendent for hiring of personnel. This would allow the district to move quickly and offer contracts to prospective new hires without having to wait until we have a board meeting and then subsequently delaying our process and losing quality candidates as other districts have board meetings earlier in the month. So both of those come to you tonight for final approval.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Roki. Any questions?
Again, that's another change to reflect what our practice is. Policy.
That is, the attendance one is yes, but the contractual employees is an update to our practice because that was only during a certain time period. And so we are extending that through the year. So that is a change. Not the other one was to match practice. This one will be a change.
I remember. Thank you.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the updates to DC local and DEC local board policies?
Madam President, I motion or move that we approve that particular item.
All right, I have a motion by Dr. Lawrence. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
And a second by Mr. Bolton. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, all in favor, raise your hand. Let the record show that is 7 in favor, 0 against. The motion passes. And with no further business, the time is now 7:04 p.m. and this meeting is adjourned.